Hi, Zeus here. Today I transitioned all the way from 4 engines to 6 engines, and after a series of win streaks, won my boss battle for diamond level, worked my way up into high level of diamond and onto the US leaderboard. I want to show you the combat techniques and the tech tree that I'm using. So because of how the Season 27 tech tree is designed, I decided to transition directly from 4 engines to 6 engines because it's more efficient that way, and you don't have to open nodes to be competitive at 5 engines that you really don't need later on when you get to 6 engines and 7 engines. Now specifically, you cannot open bomb or shock launcher at 5 engines without opening Scorcher and Mech, which are pretty useless in this season. So I'm not going there, and that's why I moved straight from 4 engines to 6 engines, and let's go. So I've got a lot of keys that I've saved up here, and I'm going to open all the way into 6 engines, deep into 6 engines, and I'll show you my path. Now, my priority is to open the Bombardier and the Heavy Chopper first. And I actually do have enough tokens to unlock the critters too, and I'm going to max them out also. This is very helpful in mine clearance and keeping your Bombardiers alive when you're fighting 6-engine combat battles. And then with the remaining upgrade tokens, I'm going to increase my troop damage and my building damage nodes. And as I get more upgrade tokens in the future, I'll be upgrading those. And then I'm going to open the shock launcher, and then the special defense, and then the troop health. And then I'll be pretty much maxed out at 6 engines and ready to move on to 7 engines. So as I'm finishing this up, I'm going to show you next combat at 6 engines, and I'm going to take a little bit of a break and reconfigure my base.
One eternity later.
So I've reconfigured my base as a 6-engine base. After a series of wins, I'm now ready to fight my level 21 boss battle. Hopefully I can get into diamond level here. Now this base is well set up for using heavy choppas and bombardiers in a split drop in the middle. And the hope here is that your troops divide in such a way so that slightly less than half go to the right and slightly more than half go to the left, or equal amounts go both ways and your Kavan goes to the left, and using second wind you can increase the number of troops that are on the left over time as you need more troops on the left here because there's more defensive units on the left. And this is going pretty well so far, and I haven't lost any of my bombardiers. And the main thing you got to look out for when you're using the bombardiers is rocket launchers that start to key in on your bombardiers, boom mines and mines that will kill them, a shock blaster will kill them, mortars positioned just right will kill them. Again, if you've got a second wind to put them back where they were and you've got Kavan on that side of the base, no problem. But you know, if your bombardiers die and you don't have Kavan on that side, it's not going to work out very well, and you'll get unbalanced, and then you'll have a really bad time. This has gone pretty well. My troops have completed the entire right side, and they're keying in on the last base on the left. And I'm going to get a pretty good time here, 2 minutes and 18 seconds. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully that's better than my opponent, who is boss. Pretty funny, I'm fighting my boss battle for diamond level against boss. And if he had flared on the last engine, he might have beat me, but for some reason he didn't, and it looks like I'm going to get the win. So super cool into diamond level. So with 6 engines, there's really 2 kinds of bases that are developing, and you've got to use 2 different sets of troops going after each of those 2 kinds of bases if you want to be successful. And against my base, you can see what Boss is doing. He's putting down bombardiers and heavy choppers, which is a logical option. Although I have to say, my base is, although it looks like a spread out base, it's actually a better base to go after with heavy choppers and rocket choppers. But apparently Boss didn't know that, so he lost. And what he's trying to do to overcome that is put in on a delayed basis 1 boat of heavies and one boat of bombardiers. And bad for him, his Kavan ran away off to the right, which is part of the reason why he lost, because he really needed more troops on the left, more than just 1 boat of heavy choppers, or 1 heavy chopper and 1 boat of 3 bombardiers. And you see all those troops spending all that time coming back, and he hasn't got the last engine down. And so the imbalance of his troops is what caused him to lose. All right, here's another base that is widely spread out. It works well with a split drop. This time the split drop is 2 heavy choppers in the middle, 2 heavy choppers on the far right, and 2 boats of bombardiers in the middle and 2 boats of bombardiers on the far right. And the idea here is that your heavy choppers and bombardiers on the far right will clean up everything on the right side of the base. And the way that I've set it up, you're going to see the ones in the middle all go to the left, which is what you want, because you want your troops to be relatively even. And this resulted in a very good time and a win. I'm only going to show you the ones that I did a better job on. This one was 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And this is a kind of a base that you have to come at it with heavy choppers and rocket choppers. And what you do is you have your heavy choppers in front as meat shield, your rocket choppers provide the punch, and you just got to make sure that you put shocks down on anything that's going to knock down a rocket chopper, because if you lose even one of your 4 rocket choppers, your time is going to be bad. And in this one, unfortunately, I did lose 1 rocket chopper, and that's why, and then another one there, and that's why my time was only 2 minutes and 15 seconds, as opposed to, say, 2 minutes and 20 seconds or 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And then if you're careful in not putting down shocks, you can throw a ton of barrage and bombs at the end and knock down the final engine. Here's another example of a rocket chopper base. Anything where everything's pretty much in the back, or you're going to end up with a big split like that, it's just too time consuming for your troops to come around the chasm in the middle if they're not flying troops. And that's why you have to use the rocket choppers. Now, you'll get some support from your massive heavies. And again, in this case, I actually chose to go left, because one of the rules of using these heavy choppers is that you want to go after the weakest part of the base first to get some good momentum and build up a lot of heavies. And that will help you create a wave of damage to take down the base. So you can see that the heavies on the right are actually distracting the boom cannon and the shock blaster, and help me take down the base faster. So here I had a terrible time, another pretty bad time. This is a pretty good time, 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Here's another base that you can use a split drop, but this time, because the defenses are so imbalanced, I'm putting down 3 heavy choppas and 3 boats of bombardiers on the left, and just 1 heavy choppa and 1 boat of bombardiers on the right. And then I put in Kavan on a delay basis because I want to make sure the Kavan goes to the left, otherwise I'm going to get a bad time. This went pretty well. It's just time consuming to chew through the entire left side of the base. You can get a good spread of your bombardiers, and that's when they become most efficient. Unfortunately, I lost a couple of bombardiers there on that boom cannon. That slowed me down, and lost a few of my bombardiers on the right. That slowed me down. So anyway, it was good enough for a victory.
Many hours later.
So I've continued to open chess and do combat. I worked my way up into level 21, diamond level a ways, and I've now opened the shock launcher and moved that up to level 3, and the artillery, and then the troop damage I have maxed out. So next up will be the special defense and the troop health. So as I've continued to battle with 6 ER, I've strung together a pretty good win streak and then worked my way onto the US leaderboard all the way up to number 379. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please subscribe to our channel, give us a like on this video, and thanks as always to Hercules for help with the video editing.